So in today's training, we're going to be talking about 4 ways that posture affects your digestion. So as you've probably gathered from the previous trainings, you can see that there's quite an effect that digestion, that your posture can have on a lot of different aspects of your organ system functioning. So what happens when we have really poor upper body posture and we're slumped down? Our ribs will collapse into our abdominal cavity. Okay, so our abdominal cavity is where all of our intestines and our stomach and our digestive organs sit. So when we collapse into that space, then that cavity becomes compressed and it squishes the stomach and the intestines. So as you can imagine, if it's all squished up, it's going to hinder the movement of food passing through there and the functioning of, example, the peristaltic action of our intestines, how they sort of go in a rhythmical fashion to sort of move that food along. That's going to be hindered. So it will, it can potentially lead to indigestion, constipation, where it's just not moving through the digestive system. And when things start to stagnate, then we can get the growth of unfriendly bacteria, because they're feeding off material that shouldn't be staying in there for as long as what it is. It should be passing through. If you think about a body of water, when you have, moving water, it's, it can be fresh water, but when the water just sits stagnant, then you get the growth of, algae and, all sorts of different things. So it's very similar to that in your body. Next up, reduced digestive organs blood flow. So we get less blood flow to the organs, which is, of course, going to impede how those organs are able to function, because they need energy. They need, especially in the digestive system, we're transferring, we're breaking down the nutrients from food into our bloodstream. So we're just going to really slow that digestive process down, and it's going to affect our body's ability to firstly break everything down into small enough particle sizes so that it can absorb into the bloodstream, but it's and hence obviously that's going to affect our ability to absorb and assimilate the nutrients from our food. So we might be eating a really good diet, but if we can't actually absorb and assimilate the nutrients out of the food into our bloodstream, then that's going to impair our body's health overall. Next up, we've got impaired nerve functioning. So we have spoken about that in detail in a previous training, but if you can imagine that the spinal column, it has, when you have poor spinal posture in particular, there's different sections where nerves feed out of the spine to different organs in the body. So the digestive organs included in that. So if you have poor posture and there's compression on and pinching of the nerves that feed the digestive organs, then that's going to affect the ability of those organs to function optimally, and obviously hence break down the food, absorb the food, get the nutrients into your body. So some common symptoms, could be reflux, irritable bowel syndrome, and just other general, gastrointestinal disorders from those organs not being able to function to their best ability from not getting adequate, neural inputs. And then just generally overall sluggish digestion. So when our posture and we're collapsed down and that abdominal cavity is compressed and our organs are squished, our intestines, our stomach, as we mentioned before, the food can't move through effectively. So that movement will slow down dramatically and can lead to feelings of feeling really uncomfortably overfull, feeling bloated, and just general feelings of discomfort. You might feel, a little bit sick even when you eat, things like that. And as we mentioned before, when that movement of food slows down, then different types of bacteria, unfriendly bacteria, the balance of the normal gut bacteria, which is super important to overall health, gets affected, and that can create an imbalance in the friendly to unfriendly bacterial balance in our body and have repercussions that flow on to all sorts of other systems in the body.